You don't want your child to see your other half. Has that ever happened to you? Now, come on, let's be honest. It happens. That's the worst thing you can do. Even though you know that person may not even worth being around, that child has to find out for themselves, but you got to balance it. But the more you talk negative, it's not good. Because what you want to do is to be able to let them know, yes, there were some disagreements, there are some things that I do not like, but yes, that's still your father, that's still your mother, and I want you to respect them. Because what happened is, when they get older, that's when things will begin to come back and say, did my mom tell me the truth? Did my dad tell me the truth? I wasn't able to find out those things, and now here it is. I see, oh, it was my mom, it wasn't my dad. Yeah, go ahead, you want to share?
Yeah, I want to share. That's like with my 5 daughters. When I had them and I divorced my husband,
okay.
I gave them the opportunity to be with him, and they learned as years went by, it wasn't me, because as much as I didn't want them to be with him, I let them go with him, but then he kept disappointing them by not coming to get them. So they learned as they got older that it wasn't the mom's fault, it was the father's fault, because as much as I let them have a part of his life, life with them, he chose not to have a part of a life with them on his own. It wasn't my baby.
And that would happen. So you don't have to try to win them over, because you're doing them a disservice, because it's still their dad or it's still their mom. So they will find the truth. And as long as you're putting them down, you're just pushing them towards them. So you have to understand how a child's mind works. Okay? And there was another situation where I was working with a young lady. This young lady, the principal wanted me to talk with her, so I said, okay. I go in there, sat down, sitting in the chair, and all of a sudden these big old tears start rolling down. And of course, my heart just skipped a beat. I hadn't seen tears that big before. They were huge. And you could see the sadness. And what turns out is that her dad didn't come to the birthday party, and either he forgot, and the mom didn't want him there in the first place, and she hadn't even heard from her dad. So I called the mom and said, hey, your daughter wants to see her dad. And I said, well, it'd be okay for her to meet with him. So the mom said yes, and she was going to be there as well. So we set up the meeting. No mom. She didn't show up. And so I asked the father, I said, did you guys have a bad divorce? That's the first thing that comes to mind. And he said yes. And so here it is, the mom not liking the dad, didn't want her daughter to sit, and she wants it. This girl was an A student at one time, and she ended up being a C student. And the last time I went back in to see her, she was in detention, whatever name they call it right now. And so what happened is that the mom didn't want me to have anything to do with her, because ours began to reach her to try to get the help that she needed. And therefore, your child will not be able to get the help that they need if you are the one that's going to be the obstacle. You can't be the obstacle. You must do everything within your power and your ability to get them the help that they need. And like I say, they will find out which is the better parent and which is not. They will. So don't too much worry about it. And you just got to make sure you keep the communication with them. And I bet you did. Did you keep communicating with them and then disconnect, right? And didn't hate them because they want to be with their father. Or you didn't hate them because they want to be with your mom. That's okay. Yes, it hurts. But at this moment in time in your life, the key is understanding the importance of showing respect in that relationship, the effort that is needed, showing love, affirmation, trust, the inside would represent your heart, the openness that's important. Make sure that you're nice. Make sure that the relationship survives. Make sure honesty is within that relationship. Use your intelligence, and make sure you persevere, and please allow self to make the right choices in this situation. Okay? Got it? All right. You can cut.